Big night for basketball, ladies and gentlemen. 3 really big games. Brooklyn Nets, Boston Celtics, not as big of a game, but I'm just interested in watching Durant, Harden, and Kyrie as much as possible. Obviously, the Lakers and Suns is a big one. And then, obviously, the Clippers and Mavs is a big one. Clippers lost game 1 at home. They've lost their home court. You got to believe they got to go out and win game 2. So big of a night in the NBA that Clippers-Mavs game is actually on NBA TV. Wow, I would have found a way to bump up. Either the Suns and Lakers would have had to play at 7, which I know is a crazy early start time on the West Coast. That would mean like a 4 or 5 spot in Arizona. Or I would have did something to get the Suns and Lakers on TV as well as the Clippers and Mavs on national TV. TNT, Charles Barkley, Shaq, and them. You got to find ways to get that Clippers-Mavs game on something better than NBA TV. That's my opinion. I'm bumping that Nets-Celtics series off TV some kind of way. But that's not the case here. And I only bring this Clippers-Mavs game up because I was listening to Chris Broussard over at FS1. And usually I don't pull from other people's commentary, perspective, and all that on games. I like using my own. But I thought he said something very interesting. He said, this is, Kawhi Leonard's 3rd playoff series with the Clippers. He had, obviously, last year, first round against the Mavs, second round against the Nuggets, in which the Clippers lost in 7 games after being up 3-1. And then this year against Luka and the Mavs again. He said, this is 3 series right now that we've seen Kawhi in Clipperland, and he ain't been the best player in either of them. And I was thinking to myself, wow. Nikola Jokic did a number on the Clippers last year. Jamal Murray had some big shots as well, but really it was the Joker in the latter part of that series. So I can't say Kawhi was the best player in that. That first round series last year in the bubble, Luka had the game winner. What was that, game 2? Where Luka had the game-winning walk-off three-pointer. Luka destroyed that series. Like, Kawhi was good in stretches, but they had to injure Kawhi. Marcus Morris stepping on his ankle and all type of stuff. Luka was clearly the number 1 option. Kristaps Porzingis was unhealthy for that series, most of it. Luka was still keeping the Clippers or the Mavs competitive to the point that bad boy went 6. So now we get to this year. Luka dominates game 1, 31-point triple-double. Kawhi had 26. He was good, double-digit rebounds. But again, he wasn't great. And then in the fourth quarter, you only get 3 points from Kawhi. That's not good enough. And that's becoming a trend with the Clippers between George and Kawhi. Fourth quarter, they ain't figuring it out. And if Kawhi is a guy that by the way, at some point in time last year called the best player in the world, I backpedaled that one quickly, right? If Kawhi's in that conversation, there is no reason why we should confidently be saying there's somebody in a series that's playing better basketball than him now 2 years in a row if we don't look at that guy as better than Kawhi, right? That is a rare one, what we're speaking about right now. If Luka is clearly better than Kawhi 2 years in a row, even if the Mavs don't win, obviously they don't have nowhere near the amount of requisite talent that the Clippers got. Clippers went out, not only brought in Paul George, who's much better than Kristaps Porzingis, much healthier than Porzingis. Just look up and down that roster from Marcus Morris they gave a bag to. They brought Serge Ibaka in last year. Zubac they gave a nice pretty penny to. Look up in that Rondo they brought in. Patrick Beverly's a guy that's made a nice bit of change with that Clippers team. The Clippers have went all in. Nicholas Batum, Terrence Mann's a nice young player. Clippers got a lot more talent than the Mavs. But yet, we still say the Mavs are the team that looks hungrier than Los Angeles thus far in 2 years. Even though the Clippers were able to edge the Mavs out last year, it took a lot. All right? If Luka looks better than Kawhi again, at what point does the narrative shift from Luka played better than Kawhi than Luka's a better basketball player than Kawhi? I'm asking. I didn't say he was. I'm just asking the question. Is it time, if Luka continues to shine as the most important player in the series? I said this in my preview. I said Kawhi was a better player, but Luka is the most important player in this Clippers-Mavs series. But I have to admit, if Luka's going to do this again this year, where we're focused on, the Clippers are throwing multiple bodies at Luka Doncic right now. It doesn't matter. you can put Patrick Beverly on him for a few minutes. He's too small. Paul George, you just put him in that pick and roll and switch on to the big. Kawhi doesn't seem to even want to guard Luka. Like, Kawhi Leonard's 29 years old, and he's not guarding Luka Doncic. And be clear, I want to be fair. Luka ain't guarding Kawhi on the other end either, just to be fair. Like, let's call a spade a spade. But Luka's manhandling the series at the point guard position. Like, this has got to balance out, right? Like, Luka Doncic is the point guard of his team. Clearly the one. And there's some distance between his number two. And his number two don't stay healthy. Like, but there's still distance between a healthy Luka and a healthy Kristaps, right? We don't think Kristaps Porzingis is in the same realm of Paul George. I don't, at least. Luka's got to be the point guard of his team. Kawhi was brought into Los Angeles to be their best scorer and their best defender. He's not the defender that he once was. He's up the ante in scoring. He's a better scorer today than he was of yesterday, for sure. He balls out on offense. I want to give him his respect. His mid-range game is impeccable. But he no longer defends at an elite level, to me at least. He ain't in that conversation the best defender to me. And why does a 29-year-older not have the responsibility? He's 29, bro. Kobe was locking guys up at 29 and dropping 45. Mike was locking guys up at 29 and dropping 45, 50. LeBron was locking guys up at 29 and dropping 30-point triple-doubles. Like, you're telling me a 29-year-older doesn't have the responsibility of defending? If Kawhi's going to backpedal on defense, his name needs to be closer to the James Hardens of the world than it does the Luka Doncic's of the world. I mean that, or the Kevin Durant of the world, right? Like, if he's going to be a one-dimensional guy, Durant plays better defense than Kawhi right now. Giannis definitely plays better defense than Kawhi right now. If you want me to be real with you, I thought LeBron was awful his first 2 years in Los Angeles on defense. I thought he was awful last year, and he for damn sure was awful his first year in L.A. with Brandon Ingram and company. Awful. LeBron wasn't bad when he played on defense this year. Not at all. He's actually pretty damn good this year on defense this year. Kawhi, to me, he wasn't a better defender than LeBron this year. Now, to be fair, LeBron didn't play most of the season with the injury to ankle down the stretch. He was unhealthy and a shortened season. I'm just saying, man, y'all let me know, at what point do we admit that Luka Doncic might be a better overall basketball player than Kawhi Leonard, who in 2021 seemingly is more focused on offense versus who he used to be in San Antonio as he made the transition to Toronto. Remember his 1 year in Toronto, he locked Giannis down for 4 games in a row. Where is that Kawhi at as Luka continues to dominate this series and dominate every time he plays the Clippers?